Hey y'all, today we're gonna make some yummy apple strudel. This thing is so easy, you're not gonna believe it. So start off, you're gonna preheat your oven to 375, and then we're gonna go ahead and get a piece of parchment paper. And my parchment paper was too big, y'all, but that's okay, because I'll just cut it off in a minute. We won't worry about it. I wasn't real sure how much I was gonna need, so I just rolled a piece out there. So I just went ahead and flipped it over so it wouldn't roll back on itself. And this recipe, I'm telling y'all, there's like only a couple of ingredients and it's so simple. You're not even gonna believe it. So we're gonna start out by taking 1 can of crescent rolls, and you can actually use like the sheet of dough, you know, that's not perforated. That actually would probably be better if we're being honest, because pinching these seams together, it's a booger bear, and sometimes it don't work anyway. So you're gonna see that in a minute too. So just go ahead and real carefully find the end of your crescent rolls, and then we're just going to lay these on the parchment paper, and you don't have to spray it or anything, it'll be fine. And then just roll it on out. Now anywhere that you see your seams kind of coming apart, go ahead and just pinch those back together, because we don't want them to, you know, to just all fall apart when we're wrapping this thing in a minute, because then all the stuff's just going to ooze out and it's going to kind of defeat the purpose. So the only thing I think I would have done different is there were some places where they weren't coming apart, but when I start to wrap them, those places do come apart. So my advice would be, even if they don't look like they're coming apart, anywhere there's a seam, just go ahead and pinch it together just to be on the safe side. Okay, so once you get your parchment paper Lord, y'all, I need a nap. This done got late. Okay, when you get your crescent dough rolled out, you're going to go ahead and take a knife, a pizza cutter, whatever you got, whatever works for you, and you're just going to cut like 1-inch wide strips on both sides. Now make sure that you don't go all the way to the middle, because that's where you're going to put your filling. And you can use any kind of pie filling you want. I had some apple in the pantry, so that's what I'm using. And y'all, this darn thing had one of them pop tops on it. And as soon as I went to pop it, the little pop thing came off and it didn't open nothing. So I had to get out my little handy dandy can opener there and go ahead and just open her on up. So I just went ahead and scooped my little apples just right down the center. And you don't want to do it too thick, because I mean, you're going to stretch this dough, but you know, you don't want to push it. You don't want to push it. It'll only stretch so far, y'all. So just go ahead and put you a good layer of your little apples right down the center. And I didn't want to just dump it on there, because you know the pie filling has all that like the little syrupy stuff in there, and I didn't want it to get too wet and then just make my dough fall apart. So I tried the best I could to just kind of get the apples on there, and then I go back and spoon just a little bit of the Lord, what is it called, y'all? The juice, you see what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I mean. Anyway, so I just spooned a little bit of that on there just to make sure it wasn't dry. And then you're just going to start at the top, and you're just going to wrap from one side to the other. And you'll see, like right there, that little seam came apart. And right there, the little seam came apart. So just do the best you can. And if they come apart when you're wrapping them, just pinch them back together the best you can. And you see right there, I just pulled the whole darn thing apart because I was pulling so hard trying to get it to wrap. But it's okay. It's all going to come out fine. So you're just going to wrap it all the way up and just pinch any seams that you see coming apart. And y'all, this is not beautiful by any means, but you know what? It tastes just the same as if it was beautiful. So you're going to go ahead and just mix you up an egg. And you know, I've heard different people say different things. They use just the egg yolk as the, you know, the egg wash, or just the egg white. Well, I was going to throw away what I didn't use anyway, so I just mixed the whole egg up. And you're just going to brush that over the top, so that'll make it be, you know, brown real pretty. And then I just took some of this cinnamon sugar mixture and just put a real thin layer right over the top. And I think I got that stuff at the Dollar Tree or something, y'all. It's real easy to find. Or if you don't have that, or if you don't like cinnamon, just sprinkle just a tiny bit of sugar over the top. So then I just pick up my parchment paper and put it right over on my little crusty cookie sheet. And then we're going to put this in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes. I think mine ended up maybe right around, I don't know, 16, 18 minutes. But halfway through, take your pan out and turn it around, you know, so it'll make sure it gets cooked good and even. Okay, so while that's over there cooking, we're going to mix up the glaze for this thing. All you're going to need is half a cup of powdered sugar, a teaspoon of whatever liquid that you're using. I use just regular milk. You can use almond milk. I had saw one video, excuse me, where a lady used apple juice. So whatever liquid you want, a tablespoon of it. And then just a half a teaspoon of vanilla. So you're just going to go ahead and whisk that up real good. And if you feel like it's too thick when you mix it up, add just a tiny bit more of whatever liquid you're using. Or if it's too thin, just add a tiny bit more powdered sugar. That's how you fix that. So mine, I felt like it was a little bit thicker than what I wanted it to be. So I added maybe another teaspoon of milk to it and got it right to the perfect consistency, because I didn't want it thick like cinnamon roll icing. Like I wanted it thin so we could drizzle it on there, you know, because I was trying to be fancy, y'all. You know, I'm always trying to be fancy. So you can see right there how, you know, how thick mine ended up being. So this is what it looks like when it comes out of the oven. And look how pretty that is, y'all. Even though it wasn't fancy wrapped or anything, it still turned out real pretty. So I just went ahead and let it sit for just a minute, and then I pulled it off the cookie sheet. And now the only thing I had big enough other than a cookie sheet was this cutting board that I use as a charcuterie board. So I just went ahead and decided I would just, you know, put it off on there so I could cut it and everything and put my glaze on it. Well, I kind of should have put my glaze on when I was, you know, when I still had it on the parchment paper, because I'm about to make a mess here in just a minute, y'all. And you see where I broke it right there in the middle when I was wrapping it earlier. But it's okay, because you can't even really tell. I mean, you know, you can because you can see it. But otherwise, you know, if you do this and you're serving it to people, they're never going to know. So don't worry about it. So see right there, I just push it right back together. And like I said, I should have left this on the parchment paper to put the glaze on it, because it does get messy. But I wanted to give y'all a little view of exactly what it looks like. It's really pretty, and you see there was a couple of spots where it was kind of coming out a little bit, but it was perfectly fine. So now I just took my little glaze, and you can use a spoon or whatever you want to use. And you see me trying to be fancy there, don't you? You know, I saw that in the video, so I was trying to be fancy like they were. But I just kind of drizzled it right over the top. And it may not look real pretty right there, y'all, but it sure did taste good. So, see there? Ooh, y'all, it's good. You ever had a McDonald's hot apple pie? Well, this is 100 times better, y'all. I am telling you. You gotta try this one. It's so few ingredients, and it tastes so dang good. You gotta try it. Y'all got to try it. It's really delicious. Now, if y'all like this video, I'm gonna put another video right up here that y'all can go watch next. And I'll see y'all next time.